I don't want to get into it.
And ain't nobody gonna stop me.
Front yard both times.
Fucking bath towel boy over here.
No, man. I did it multiple times. I got caught every single time.
Time out. You have to say that one more time, bro. One more time.
Questions. There's a lot of questions.
All right. You have to repeat
Go ahead
that
and ask. I
one
don't
more
even care.
time, bro.
Are you recording yet or not?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
wanted to repeat that. So
Okay.
bad. Oh my
I need you
God.
to say that again because I have about 30 to 70 questions.
Okay, I might have answers to all of those. Yeah,
It's one of those things where, like, if you say yes to this, then I go this way. If you say no, I go this way. And then I just keep working.
Just to
Okay,
clarify,
so-
you said
Yes.
you used to poop
When-
in your neighbor's yard.
yes, I did. Both neighbors, left and right.
Both neighbors. Damn. So you're like the worst neighbor.
They were like my best friends at the time. You know, we were just outside playing.
Wait.
You didn't discriminate.
How? Yeah, at least you were an equal opportunity shitter.
Yeah,
So is it front yard or backyard?
front yard both times.
You didn't even try to hide it.
No, dude, the first time was right on the front porch. Actually,
Oh my
Like,
God.
Timbo.
my friend stepped in it and everything, and we just like walked through the house and.
This
You
is
guys
the
had a
best thing
different
I've
sense
ever
of humor.
heard. Best thing I've ever
No.
heard.
When you're like 7 years old and you don't
my
want to
God.
stop playing, you just shit on the front porch.
Timbo's like,
Because the
Timbo's
bathroom
like-
that's right inside the door is too far away.
you're nervous right before high school graduation. So what do you do?
All right,
Wait a
next
second.
question. How did you wipe?
Why?
I definitely didn't.
He was scooting his ass. He was scooting his ass through the front yard.
What, you guys wipe?
Just scoot like a dog in the grass.
In the grass.
You scooted out of there. What, you got caught every time?
Well, yeah, he had
Oh,
a,
yeah.
he had a trail leading right to the scene of the crime.
Actually, I think that was the second time because my mom knew right away when my neighbor was like, I need help cleaning up poop. One of the kids, they dragged dog poop all through the house. She just immediately goes, Tim?
You shitting on the neighbor's porch again?
Yeah.
All right,
God
all right.
damn it.
Did you have to go to therapy for that? Like, how does that get fixed?
I don't know. I guess I was just like, okay, I guess I shouldn't do this.
The weird
It's
thing is,
just
you
a
work for
phase.
a vet clinic now. Like,
I don't know,
you
yeah.
thought you were a dog.
Yeah.
And now you work with dogs.
It was just my calling, you know.
You're a dog
Inspired
whisperer.
himself.
Yeah.
So wait, okay, your friend stepped in it. So is he doing it too with you?
No, see, apparently, I don't remember this. This is just what I've been told.
A black
They were
man.
all just like, there
Yeah.
was
I was
three
on
of them.
Ambien
They
at
were
the
just kind
time.
of like blocking me from the street so that no one saw. Like they were teaming up with me. They were helping me out.
They were cheering you on.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
created the wall so that I could just squat and shit, and people in the
Dump.
neighborhood couldn't
Dump.
see.
Dump. Dump.
Yeah.
Hey, good thing you weren't a nervous shitter. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
No.
Dude, I'm literally
Imagine
crying.
you got stage fright
Oh my God, bro.
there. Your bare
Think
ass
about-
for the.
Think about that nowadays with all the doorbell cameras and shit. Just see Tim.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Seriously, you just hear a voice. Damn, quit shit on my porch.
Run!
I thought we went over this. This is why
Oh,
we pay
my-
for plumbing.
25 years later and you're still shitting on my porch. Get out of here.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god.
So was your friend just rooting you on, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Ah, fuck, stepped in your shit, Tim."
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember that one. That's one that my parents told me about, and I just believe them that it happened. The first time I remember, though, because I was just out in the middle of the front yard, and my dad came home from work, and he was driving down the street, and I was like squatting down, just like, oh, fuck.
He's gonna see you.
I just stayed there, too. Like, hopefully he doesn't see me.
Try to
So-
blend in with the yard.
Tim's like, Tim calls all his buddies. Hey boys, I had T-Bell for lunch. It's game time.
Oh man,
Oh, my
There
God.
five.
it has to be more of a
Ah.
liquid dump, but
Oh,
Which-
gosh.
Which neighbor are we doing this time?
Yeah.
I do not judge. I will poop everywhere.
Oh man.
You
Question
didn't care.
though.
These guys.
Do you guys, I mean, maybe you had a friend or whatever. So when I growing up, I had a friend. He lived like down the street, but he never wanted to go home. So he would shit in the bushes like across the street from my house. No joke.
What?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, bro.
So why would he not
He's-
just go in your house?
I don't know.
Like, no, these are not I don't know situations. There's
I mean-
hey Timmy,
I mean,
stop.
Hey, hey.
some shit in my porch, Tim.
I got a bathroom.
Yeah,
We got 4 bathrooms in this house.
and teepee.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and the means to clean up after.
Oh,
Wild man.
You know, there's supposed to be just something about nature. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just like the breeze.
Yeah, we're like, just peaceful out here. The birds just
I can't-
chirping. Sweet smell. of
Oh,
shit.
that-
Peaceful in front of all these cars driving by.
Yeah.
That just reminded me. I went hunting with my aunt and uncle after that, and we're out in the woods for a couple days, and I'm just holding it. Because my parents told me I'm not allowed to shit outside anymore, and they had to convince me that it was okay to poop outside. I'm just this little, 8-year-old kid. Like, they told me not to.
Tim's like, I know how to do this. I'm very good at it, but
Anybody see a porch around here? I really gotta go.
I need a porch or a front
I only
yard
poop in my
ASAP.
friend's yard. Where's Ryan?
Oh my gosh, I'm broken right now.
Oh my god. What an opening.
Yeah. How's that
Wow.
for a poop story?
I don't even
Yeah,
know
I
how
got
to
it.
transition out of that. Like,
I can't poop anywhere else but my house. Like, it takes a lot for me to have to poop somewhere else other than my bathroom. I'm like Shitbreak from American Pie. I will literally hold it all day and endure a stomachache just to shit in my own house.
Bro.
I certainly don't spot a porch and decide that's a good spot for me to go. No.
God damn it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like one of those
This is good.
Amazon driver stories where they like, just can't hold it. I'm just gonna, like my childhood, I'm just gonna duke you right here on the porch.
Yeah, but Pete can't even
quick.
poop like in the gas station though. He
Hell
won't
no.
do it. He won't do it.
Oh.
He
I
has
have
to be
a
his
buddy
house
who,
or
like,
bust.
My buddy legit has like IBS, and he would go on trips with his like now wife's family, and for some reason, being in a hotel, being in another city, state, whatever, he like it's like God rained down on him on like the ability to not have to poop for like a week. But like then he's at home and it's like 7 times a day. It's like crazy.
He's got a lot to get out of him.
Yeah, yeah,
Pete,
One
what
trip
happens
a
when
year
you eat
backs him
Taco
up.
Bell? What happens then?
yeah.
And it's
You
just like,
choose not to.
and you're just
Out of the
walking like
water.
a penguin, bro. Just tight
No.
clenching your ass. You just won't go even then.
No,
you just-
unless it's knocking. I mean, unless it's already there, then I will wait all day to get home.
Oh man, I'll blow up anybody's bathroom.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
or their front
Oh,
yard.
Timbo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
we already
Timbo.
know that your level of comfortability is way through the roof.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
cars driving by, and you're just like, "Yep,
He's like,
this is
oh,
where I
yeah.
hey,
decided
Mrs.
to go."
Johnson,
Oh, yeah.
Mrs.
Smile and wave,
Johnson.
boys. Smile and wave.
nothing to see here, just another heater.
I almost made it to my house, huh? Like,
I mean,
No,
I'm
no,
not
no, I
that
left-
comfy, but
Like, oh, you almost made it home, Tim. No, I actually left my house for this.
yeah.
I ran out of my house to come
Yeah.
to your yard.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
My dad doesn't come around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing is, you chose front yards. Like, I definitely would have thought it'd be a backyard situation.
When you're
Yeah.
6 years old, it's just wherever you feel like it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure at 6, I understood the concept of toilets.
Yeah. Well, you
Fuck
had to-
toilets.
Oh yeah, he just saw the newspaper and he's like, oh, "All right, good read, good place to squat."
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
But like Timbo, I mean, I'm not that comfortable on porches, but I mean, I work direct
Nobody
TV, bro. I would blow up customers' bathroom. I'd be like, "Hey, I gotta go." I mean,
Dude, that's probably what scarred me a few times is those times that I had to blow up customers' toilets. I got called out.
you gotta call it out.
I got called out. Yeah,
Well,
Burning, lighting matches,
Oh,
spraying
yeah.
Lysol.
I was doing security systems out in Washington D.C. and It was one of them poops that were just right there. I'm sweating, and I've already held it in as long as I could. And I went and asked her to use the bathroom, went upstairs, and just unleashed hell. And as soon as I got done, like I already was nervous. Fuck, she's gonna. I tried to make it brief, but I mean, there's no pee that takes that long.
You probably blew it up like Dumb and Dumber, Harry on Dumb and Dumber, bro.
Legs up.
Oh, yeah,
throw the sink on for no reason, just running water for the whole time.
Shaving.
It's like a bigger towel.
Just washing my hands. I'm just shaving. But yeah, she called me out as soon as I got out of there and started walking downstairs. She walked upstairs, and it's like a split level home, so the bathroom is right at the top of the stairs. And she's like, "Ooh, boy, somebody opened up a window." And I'm like, that's like the worst nightmare for me. I just scurried downstairs back to her.
Here, everything's free. I'm out.
Seriously, this one's on the house. Just don't tell friends.
Oh boy!
Oh, someone opened up a window.
Yeah, that did stick with you.
Yeah, scarred you. Man.
Yeah. And that was the last time I pooped in a customer's house.
Oh, that's so funny.
13 years ago.
I don't know. I just am like, well, everyone's human, everyone shits, so yeah.
Yeah, see, and I know that, of course, but I just can't apply it to even a gas station.
You're afraid that the
Gas
attendant's
stations-
gonna walk in?
No, I think that's a cleanliness thing for me. I just feel like some are just like have just been absolutely wrecked. That you're like, I don't know what happened in here.
Guaranteed.
Like, yeah.
I
But
love it when the toilet bowl's filled with toilet paper. It's like, Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, like they're trying to clog it.
There's a poop on top of the toilet paper.
The fucking wipe before the
you got this shit all backwards, man. What are you doing?
The pre-wipe.
Pre-game.
There's no toilet paper on top either.
I need a safe place for this to land. I don't need backsplash.
I hate splashing.
I don't like it splashing.
Need a nice little toilet paper lily pad for this to land on.
They're like trying to aim. They're like, look, they stand up and like, target acquired.
Nailed it.
It just cradles your shit.
It's like, just wrap it up in a little care package for the plumbing.
There's no post wipe. There's no post wipe after that. It's always just sitting right there.
There should be a cover up. There should be toilet paper on top of that.
Yeah.
Say you cleaned up after.
Yeah. Unless you take Metamucil, then might not need it.
You're good. It's just one fucking log sinking to the bottom.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Metamucil.
Oh, yeah.
First
Shout
podcast
out.
sponsor.
Metamucil.
Dude, Metamucil is the best, bro. You don't need to wipe. If you take it for like a couple weeks, bro, you don't need to wipe. You just wipe just because it's a habit. And then you look and you're like, oh, it's fucking clean. By the way, do you guys look at your fucking wipes?
Every time.
Of course, you know.
You got to
Gotta
make sure.
sure.
Probably not the first one, but I'll check the second.
Yeah, you know the first one's dirty.
Well,
I mean, you always have to look at it when you fold it, you know.
it's a weird
For the
concept. Like,
next one.
how do you wipe though? Because I'm a Foursquare guy.
We're not at recess,
keep
bro.
track.
I don't count my squares.
I don't count my
Yeah,
squares
Just
either.
give it a little pull, rip it, you know. Fold
Okay,
it out
first
a
of all,
couple times.
Yeah,
That's a
waste
ply.
Yeah.
of materials. in.
That's a ply issue too. You can't be four squaring with a single ply if you're somewhere
No,
else.
you go 8 squares to that point.
Dublin.
Mhm.
Yeah, it can't be
Ireland.
touching the booty.
Yeah, I go 4 squares, fold it over, wipe, double, fold that same wipe, re-wipe.
Wait,
And
this
if I
is
need
routine.
to go, this is a routine. I got an ass wiping routine.
Damn.
Hmm.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, buddy.
Do you have to have the TP like roll facing down or up? Or like, you know, when you
Yeah,
it sounds like you have to have
There's
it.
a way to put it on the.
There's
put
if
it
you
on the
check the
roll.
patent, you check the patent for toilet paper, it is supposed to roll over the top.
Yep, over the
If
top.
you roll underneath, you could be a serial killer. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't even care about anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't-
no. The only reason I think that you should, well, not even should, but could is when you got kids, man. When you got little kids, if you put it backwards or upside down, whatever, they can't just roll that shit. Because I don't know if you guys have had that problem, but my kids will do that. They just sit there and roll it and pull it all down, and then it's all over the floor.
They did when they were littler.
Yeah.
Once or twice. But the other question is, are you a stand and wipe or a squat and wipe? Like sit and wipe, like a lean?
I didn't even know there's two different wipers.
Yeah.
A stand and wipe just seems like what the hell are you doing?
Risk.
Yeah, I'm not willing to take that risk. I've seen my first wipes.
This is literally a conversation I've heard on another podcast I listened to where they talk about how you put it on the roll. How do you wipe? Are you a stander, like a sit and lean kind of person? And I just think if you stand, like you're moving, could be smearing some stuff around. I don't know.
Start wiping your cheek.
Wait, are you moving if you're standing?
Your butt cheeks get clinched together and it's harder to get up in there.
Yeah, I mean, are we talking like standing straight up, like vertical?
Pretty close, yeah.
Like
it is.
Maybe I usually stand, I squat, and then I jump and try to touch the ceiling. Then I land back down and get after it.
Then there's shit spray on your balls.
Yeah, bro.
No, I'm a sitting leaner.
Yeah.
Like a normal human.
Yeah, I have to lean. I'm a big boy. I can't get underneath it if I don't lean, so.
Well, I mean, you gotta lean.
You gotta lean.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the roll situation, I don't know. I guess I don't think about it too much. Like if
I
it's
used to know,
down and then I roll it down. If it's up, I figure it out. I'm smart.
You adapt.
Adapt.
Yeah. Look at you. You
quick on my feet,
son of a
guys.
bitch.
Okay, hold your applause.
I'll change that shit. Like at work, if someone puts it on backwards, I'll fucking flip it around. Like, fuck you, dumbass. Who the fuck taught you?
Bunch of idiots I work with.
Ever shit on a porch before?
Rolling it down because you can just like swat it down, just like.
I'm an expert on toilet paper.
Well, I would, but I don't shit at work.
Well, it sounds like P's the expert. 4 squares. Then he fucking folds it, and then he fucking double folds it.
Oh, the beauty is working from home. Just got my own setup, comfort to the max. And I'm in a cul-de-sac, so there's porches everywhere. I got tons of options.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Timbo would be in heaven.
Just
like
make sure you pick.
Every other house has a Ring doorbell camera, so you get like a 360 view on me.
Yeah, my neighbors have all got horses. I can just go blame it on them.
Yeah,
big horse shit.
Oh my God.
They'll be like, "Oh,
how big you dropping, bro?
This is a little shit right here. Is my horse constipated?"
Yeah.
My horse
taking little shits.
Dog, but I liked it. All right, well, cool.
Have you ever had an awkward shit on a date?
Yeah, I blamed it that I was sick on food poisoning.
Ah.
Take me home and just told her I threw up everywhere when I was about ready to fucking shit in the passenger seat.
Damn.
We gotta go, and we gotta go now. It was Arctic Circle. Fucking didn't have Arctic Circle for so long after that.
Wait, Arctic Circle burgers make you poop now?
Not now. I mean, at that time, it sure did.
I mean,
I couldn't just be like, "Hey, let's stop at the gas station." No, I'm not doing that.
Jeez,
Like, we gotta get to my grandma's.
Come on. It's a pedal on the right. Come on.
Blow all the lights.
Oh, yeah. No cops, no stops. All right.
Oh my God.
I have to throw up so bad.
I don't know.
Just out of the other hole.
Jesus. B, that kills me, dude.
I fooled her.
I mean, I've done it a couple times, but
you're regular James Bond, you.
I know. I got away with it too.
Wasn't for those meddling kids.
He's sitting down and he's just going,
I told her to go home.
You start coughing mid shit. Fuck, dude. Not me, dude. Man. I don't know. I just am upfront. I'm like, hey, I'm probably gonna blow up your bathroom. I'll be back. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. And then they know what's up. And then it is what it is at that moment.
Whew, man.
At least it's out there, and you're not like, hey, What's over in that corner?
You got a porch?
Oh, yeah.
You got a porch and doorbell
Oh,
camera?
yeah.
No, great.
Like, man, I feel a little woozy. Let's get some fresh air. Can we walk outside?
Here, you go out in the backyard. I'll be right there. I was gonna make sure nobody's
I'm gonna go check
the-
the front yard.
Yeah.
it might take me like 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
get comfortable.
Oh yeah. You seen the stars? It's nice out.
Yeah, pretty much an expert at that.
Yeah.
He just tells her to turn around and just does it right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just turn around, close your eyes. I have a surprise.
Oh yeah. Is that a naked grandma?
For what? You want to learn about my childhood? Step right here.
You guys are very confident
Oh.
shitters.
Listen, bro. I shoot with the door open, bro. You already know.
Well, I mean, I don't even do that. Wow. Even no one's home.
Well, I didn't choose this always. Like I would just, rolled in a few times and like just through the door, it didn't close all the way. And without fail, my dogs just bars through. What are you doing? Taking a shit?
Wait, your dogs can talk?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy
man.
shit.
Yeah, they didn't talk, but I knew what was up.
It's just spoke with your eyes.
Oh yeah.
They're like, why do you get to do that there and I have to outside? Like Timbo.
Mind explaining this?
Speaking of, I don't know if you guys have dogs or anything, but when I pee, if they cruise in the bathroom when I'm peeing, they smell my pee every time. Like, okay.
You just misfire and hit them sometimes.
Oh, I want to sometimes. Like, get out of here.
get out.
My dog doesn't do that.
Come in and be like, yeah, I think it's still the alpha guys. Better roll.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the others.
He still leads the pack.
He still got it.
I don't know why, but they literally smell my pee every time. It's weird.
Damn that asparagus.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin Powers pee.
This keeps going. Just a tray of asparagus next to the fountain.
Yeah.
So random.
Have you guys seen Austin Powers, Gold member?
Yeah,
Been a minute.
Yeah, when he's like peeing in the fountain. That part is one of my favorites.
So enough about shit.
right.
Although I'm sure it can come up again.
Keep it tuned.
But I'm interested in giving the listeners some advice on dating. Advice on dating and walking them through some of our successes and our fails.
Tough
because-
moments.
We're all locked down. Excuse me.
He gets
We're
a
all
little
current-
choked up.
Yeah. We're all
Let him
locked
breath.
down. We're all locked down, right? So anybody listening, don't be thinking that we're going to be wooing you with these tactics. But yeah, I'm interested in like things that went well. Arctic Circle that didn't go well.
Nope. Well
But a little advice, right? Maybe this is the love episode, right?
Oh,
we just
the
had-
love shack is a
we're not too
love
far
shack.
away from V-Day, right? Little Valentine's Day. So, we got to prep people for the 10 or so months ahead to prepare.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Buck. I was like, that's like
I
months
don't know if
ago.
you saw me look down to the right a little bit. I'm like, wait, what
I
day is
know.
it
Wait
today?
a minute.
Yeah, I missed it again.
So, yes, if 2 months ago you did not celebrate Valentine's Day, A, I'm sorry if you're single, but maybe you enjoy that. Or B, that's why your wife or girlfriend is not happy with you. So,
Yeah.
They
So,
don't regret.
wait, are we talking about like first date kind of stuff during, or do we want to handle like, chop it up? Like, let's tackle the first date, dating for months and then yonder.
I say you go, because if you're like past a certain point, right? 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, whatever benchmark you put,
Yeah, shit or
you
get
probably
off
know what
pot.
you're doing. You probably know what you're doing, right? Or should. So I'm interested in the advice to kind of get you that point, right? To get the first date, to have a
Please.
successful first date, and to get a second one, right? In
Let's
order
talk
to
about even
establish.
getting the first date.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
talk about you're interested in this. However you met, you're interested, friend of a friend. Maybe we're out one night, you bump shoulders, you get each other's number. Yeah, we should hang out again, right?
Oh, okay.
But how do you get? How do you go about two things? I want to talk about you just met and how you get that first date, and then what if you've been friend zoned? Can you get out of that to get a date?
Oh, you got some good ones, Bug.
Okay.
I will throw in my opinion on how not to get friend zoned.
Ooh, I'd like to hear this.
Yeah. But wait, you want me to lead with that?
I would like to lead with that. So
all right.
how do you avoid the friend zoning?
So in my opinion, with this type of shit, like, so there's kind of like a grace period, right? So say you know, she's actually, you know, you're getting along, you're talking, right? You go on the first date, maybe go on a second date, right? You have to kiss her, or like if you're a dude, you have to kiss her first date or second date. Like you have to, maybe not have to, but like, listen, you got about let's put it this way, you got about a week to seal the deal. Like, you're got to be, you know, making moves, being more like aggressive, showing your interest. Because if you wait past that, then they're going to be like, oh, well, he's just my friend. Like, there's just that time. And you can't be like, hey, you know, get over here, lady. We're going to smooch.
So, wow.
You know, but like,
how do you say no to that?
That's what I said. You don't do.
Let me take a step back, because if you have a date, they know you're interested, right? But let me give you a scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you're in college. Okay. So, you know, like everybody's college experience was different, but like for me, like, you know, there'd be parties throughout the week. Sometimes, like, you don't know, it's not always waiting till the weekend, or, you know, you get together, like have a couple drinks, whatever. And you meet a girl, right? She's a friend of a friend, and she's like in your crew now, your crowd, like friends. So you're gonna see her often, okay? And you're like, man, you know, like you get to know her, you talk a little bit, but how do you step past that risk of who knows if someone else likes her and is going to ask her out, and then your chances are gone, right? No, so how do you avoid? So you've talked to her a few times. She's funny, she's cute, she's got a good personality, you kind of vibe, you got some similar interests.
So you have her number, right?
You have her number. So this is the point in my mind that is the crucial point. You vibe with her.
Yeah.
She you could tell she likes you as a person. You know, she laughs at your jokes and whatever. But this is the point, you know, that you get either friend zoned or you pull the trigger, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make something happen.
Yeah. So
Thoughts?
I guess let me clarify a little bit. So like if you work, you know, with somebody and you're trying to holler at them, I don't know if I recommend it, but that is a little bit different because you see each other all the time. You know, you can get kind of know each other. But I'm just talking like strictly like, yeah, you bumped into or whatever, got a number, and then you went down that road. Like you're saying, yeah, there's like a little window and you're vibing, you know, you're talking, whatever. Like for whatever reason, like you gotta make a move in there. Like, so say you go in for the kiss, you know, it happens. You'll know and she'll know at that moment instantly whether it's going anywhere or it's not, like almost instantly. But if you don't make that move, I don't know what it is. Like maybe subconsciously they'll be like, well, maybe he doesn't like me, or maybe I need a aggressiver person or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think
what is your thoughts on,
you know,
so you mentioned like the aggressive part, right? And then you see this in movies all the time, and this is not my like method, but the guys are like, I'm gonna play hard to get. I'm gonna blow their mind on the first date, second date, and then like ghost them and like make them want me, like make, you know, like what
this
you
is
see
the
that in like
stupidest shit I've
movies.
ever heard.
Okay, thank
Dumb.
you, thank you.
That's the stupidest shit
If
I've
you
ever
like someone,
heard.
you got to make it known, right? Do we agree? You like someone, you
Yeah.
make it known.
You're starting
Yeah.
off with a stupid little mind game on like, oh, okay, so she should know that I feel this type of way because I ghosted her. Like that's dumb.
Yeah. Then your
Yeah,
relationship is based off a challenge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, those are the douchey guys in the movies too, you know? not the real guys.
Oh
Yeah, I think it sounds so simple and it's hard. Like for me, so I would like to do like a round table on like how you met your current wife, right? And then like how your first date went. Like let's just go with those stories. And because I think like I am not that kind of guy. Like I was nervous, right? I was a little nervous. So like I wasn't as maybe aggressive as I should have been, but like I I'll go with you, Brad. Let me hear how you met your current wife and then your first date as you start to smirk.
Oh, I was ready for your story, but sure. So, I was bartending at the time, and my now wife, she I don't know, came up, ordered a drink, with a couple of her friends, and then I don't know, she doesn't drink or whatever, like, so I don't know, I saw her again. I was like, hey, we want to drink. She's like, oh, I don't drink. I was like, well, could be water or a Pepsi, but anyway, and she's like, hey, how old are you? And I was like 27. Why? She's like, okay, well, I'm just making sure you're not way old. She's like, how many kids? I was like, I don't have any kids. She's like, and you're good looking? She's like, where have you been my whole life? I was like, well,
Right
keep
here.
talking.
Okay, so she came on to you.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And then,
All right.
yeah, then she, I don't know. This was literally like right before I deleted my Facebook. She actually messaged me on Facebook, and she's like, hey, can I have your number? And then we just started chatting and went on a date, I think next day or 2 days after.
Nice.
And then, yeah, we just hung out. I think we, sat down. I don't know, had a couple drinks or whatever. And then, I don't know, we just chatted till like, yeah, I don't know, it was like 1 a.m. or whatever. And then, went in for the kiss. Blew her mind. And then,
Yes.
the rest is history.
Like
Can you call her in here to validate?
Oh,
please?
yeah, well, she's pregnant. She's sleeping.
Man, she's
It's got to feel good to be like, because that's, I don't know, at least in my experience. Well, I guess I've had some people like make it known that they like me before I like made a move, but like that, it seems like that's a little less common, right? Like usually
typically
it's the
yeah.
guy. Typically it's the guy.
Most of the time. I feel like it's underrated. I tell like girls at work or wherever, like if I see him, I'm like, hey, it's underrated. Go hit on a dude. And I was like, you're going to be crushing it because all the
Mhm.
girls wait for them. I was like, go after the dude and just say something funny. I was like, you get him to laugh. And I was like, you're going on a date.
Yeah, there's wedding bells in your future.
Probably. Because that just doesn't happen. So for one, like
No.
the dude's caught off guard a little bit. And, I actually tell him another piece of advice. This goes for, I don't know, guys too, really. But so if you're going to go over, say, I know it's hard enough going to like a group. So like a dude or a girl, they're usually in like a group of like 2, 3, 4 people, like it's bar, restaurant, whatever. So if you're going to pick them up or whatever, like don't just be like, hey, I'm going to, let me get you a drink or a shot. Don't go and get it and bring it back to them. Then you're like their waiter, their server. You take them with you and you go take a shot at the bar. That way you're kind of doing like your first activity together. And then you can sit and joke, get to know each other a little bit while they're pouring the shot or making a drink or whatever. So you get that little alone time. That's how you do it. You never get it and bring it to them.
Because then it's a drop off, and then usually that's it.
Yeah,
They're
like,
oh,
oh,
thanks for the free drink.
Yep, thanks.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, another reason that's good too is you find out right away if they're already with someone, and maybe they lie to you, and that's fine because then they're not interested, right?
Yeah.
But if you just go and bring it to them, I had that happen to my wife when we were just dating. We'd go down to downtown and bunch of friends, and I'd be over here talking to some friends, and she'd be over there talking to some friends, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah, this guy brought me a free drink." I'm like, "All right, less off of my bill tonight." And she's like, "Yeah," and that was it. And then you get that out of the way by saying, and maybe they still will be like, if they're really not shady, but if they're really like it's a free drink. They just go up with you anyway, knowing they're with someone or whatever. Like probably not who you want to be with because they may not be. But you knock that out of the way right away. And they're like, oh no, I'm actually with someone. Like, cool, save me money and time and all that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Time, especially because fuck, but also I think that ties into like what you're just saying, like friend zone wise, like if, I don't know. I think that's why it's better to be aggressive more because at least you know where you stand. If you're kind of like in limbo or whatever, you're like, well, I think she likes me and I like her. And then you get in your head. But if you just go and make a move, like either she shuts you down for a kiss or you kiss and it's maybe you think it's there, she doesn't. Like you'll know. And then you're like, hey, like, all right, let's go on a date or second date. And some girls might just be like, oh, okay. And then they'll blow you off. But if they blow you off, then you know where you stand.
Yeah.
It's just that initial move of making that happen. I think that's where it's probably hard for a lot of people is that they get so worked up in their mind of like, I stand, what exactly? And then you talk yourself out of making that move. So then you're stuck in that way the entire time. And that's when you get friend zoned. Because she's
Can't
on the
get out of
opposite
your own
end.
way.
Thinking just, okay, well, he doesn't like me apparently because he hasn't made a move. If you would just make the move, then no. And if you get rejected, then you know exactly, boom, right there and then. That's not what she thinks. That's not her intention. So at least you know that, so you can just, all right, well then, I'm not worried about it anymore.
Yeah. Well, and along with that too, like if I could give my younger self advice now of where I'm at today, right? So I'll get into my story. I wanted to hear like P and Timbo's, but I'll wait for mine. But one piece of advice I'd give myself is okay, so there's clear times two people like each other, right? Body language, flirting, whatever. There's clear times. There's other times where like based on that person's personality, it's like I don't know where I stand. And I would tell myself, it's very similar to what you're saying, Brad, is there's absolutely no harm in just going up to someone saying, now if you like have never talked before, this could be creepy. But if if you have, so there's a key here, you know each other. There's nothing wrong with going up to someone and having a conversation about, hey, look, I really like you. I would love to get to know you more and go on a date. What do you think? And yeah, there's a chance at rejection, and a lot of people can't handle that. But honestly, you save yourself so much time. And Brad, like you said, the mind games that you can play with yourself, you save all that stress, all that anxiety, all those mind games, that wondering by one question. You state the obvious. Hey, look, I like you. I want to get to know you. Will you go on a date with me? And if
Dude,
they say, I'm not
get out of
ready,
my head, bug.
you're not my person, you're, whatever. But whatever their answer is, you have to go into that knowing it could be a yes, a no, or I like you too, but I just got out of a relationship and I don't, So there's that. But at least you know where you stand and you can move on from that. Right?
Yeah. Like, oh, bro, get out of my head, buggy. I was going to lead into the same thing. Like, that's probably the only way to go. Maybe not the only way, but definitely
There's
the
other ways,
easier route, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because then you know where you stand. Like, if you're like, hey, exactly what you said, I would pitch it the exact same way. Hey, I like you. I'd like to get to know you. What about another date? And, sometimes you have to learn how to read at that moment in time because they might be too nice and be like, oh, okay. Listen, it's either like yes and then followed by whatever. If it starts out with like, hey, you're cool. All right, well, then you probably should skedaddle because they're going to follow it up with a but, or maybe not a but they're going to follow it up with, eh. So, I mean, if they lead with a compliment, maybe, check yourself and be like, she probably don't like me. Because they're probably followed it up. But if they're like, oh, yeah.
You'll tell by the reaction if it's just like, oh, finally, or thank God, like, now I don't have to do it type of thing. So you know exactly where you stand.
Yeah.
And even if it feels a little bit off, like it feels you just get the wrong body language or wrong text back or something, then it's just you kind of know already.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You just have to not lie to yourself and be like, well, maybe she's acting weird. No, she probably just doesn't want to.
Right.
And if they do say no right away, it's probably a joke, to be honest. They probably have a sense of humor. They're like, nah, get out of here. And then they'll laugh and you're like, all right, maybe she has a weird sense of humor. But because I don't think that many, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't met that many girls who are like, no, sorry. Especially after you've been like on a date with them.
Usually, like from what I've seen and I'm a different story than you, Brad, because I met my wife in college and we didn't date right away, but
All right, go on.
But like when I would go to bars and I had buddies that would go up to people, like I think one easy cop out for a guy or a girl, to be honest, is if someone's direct and says like, hey, like, I like your vibe, like I want to, do you want to go grab a drink with me? Let's chat, like get to know each other, whatever. They could easily just say like, I got a boyfriend or I got a girlfriend or whatever. It's like, okay, then maybe they're lying, but at least that crosses that off the list, and you don't have to worry about like pursuing that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying to me that's a harmless lie. It's especially when someone you just met. It's not like, for me, I met her at a party in college, and I knew we had similar friend groups. So if like she were to say that to me, I would have known she's lying because I'm gonna see you again, right? But I don't know. What about you? What about you, P? What was your how'd you meet your lovely lady?
Through Brad,
Oh, okay.
actually.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Brad and
Cupid.
my wife worked together, and we were at the firehouse, and it's just a local restaurant, and he ended up having her come over, just kind of almost like a blind date, but not really a date. And then,
Sort of a setup.
yeah, essentially. The funny thing is, though, like we went back to my apartment, like all of us, and the one thing that I do remember is me and her sat in her car afterwards, and she would like all the conversations that we had that night. She was telling me like little things about herself, her birthday and everything, and she quizzed me on it just to make sure like I wasn't just, trying to get a piece of ass. And
Oh.
it's a good thing that I have a short-term memory. I just remembered them.
Oh, you went 10 for 10, bro.
Oh yeah, I got an A+ on the quiz,
Yeah,
and that landed a second date for me. Well, that wasn't even a date, but it was more of a okay. He's not just trying to hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
But the weird story, like me and my wife have a pretty interesting story. So that happened, and we were, hanging out and whatnot. But I was in that young 20s mindset of just, party was everything type of vibe. And so naturally, it wasn't the right time. But we had something. I mean, there was definitely something there, and we got along, and we just knew it. My young dumbass just kind of blew it, and next thing you know, hook up with other girls, end up having a kid with one of the girls, and me and her are together for a couple of years. Doesn't work out, and she actually ended up having a kid with another guy close to the same timeline, which is why I have a couple 8-year-olds right now. Tying
Gotcha.
this all together, we reunited later on in life. Now that we had kids, we had kind of the same experience, and we're in a similar spot in life. And I reached out to her, end up going on a date, and it's like we restarted. We've already had all this chemistry, and we've already gotten that out of the way initially. We knew we obviously connected on some level at the beginning, and then now we're redoing it all over again. And it still felt like I was doing it again for the first time. Had a first date, second date.
Nice.
But this time around, it was more like get to know your situation, and focus on me and you, and not just, get to know her and then incorporate her into my life. It's where do we stand? How can we get to know each other better? And I'm kind of glad that it didn't go that way from the beginning, because I know where I was, it wasn't going to work out. Yeah, it was literally that.
You were more like GTL.
Yeah,
yeah, fist bumping.
Minus the L.
Yeah. Back then, you used to just buy new clothes, bro.
Yeah,
No way is that real.
It's a real fucking thing, dude.
You rich
I was
son of a
making
bitch.
I was making good money back then. I didn't care about the L.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah, bro. No joke.
That is really hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
Show me your paycheck one time, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude! Go sit
I wish
down."
I could see that paycheck again.
Yeah.
Those are good paychecks.
Yeah, I was like, "You're buying beer tonight, fuck."
Yeah, and shots.
And the girl that I'm trying to hit on over here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, end of the story. Brad ended up introducing me to my now wife. So
Nice. Look at that love story, huh?
yeah,
Matchmaker.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm still around too.
Hey, how about that?
hey,
How's
made the
that?
cut.
Made the cut.
Yeah, you know.
Oh shit. Timbo, what's your story, homie?
We met through a mutual friend. She, I don't really think she was trying to like set us up or anything. It was just a random invite down to.
She was in your cold sack.
Yeah.
She knew who you were.
Yeah. She just invited us down to the river one day, and we were all just kind of hanging out and chilling, and we kind of clicked. And at first, we kind of started talking a little bit after that day, but funny enough, I kind of stood off a little bit and wasn't really. I didn't pursue it too much, but she kept at it, and she yeah, it was
Wanted a slice of that, Timbo.
yeah, that's right. I
Italians.
know. I just irresistible.
Damn.
How old were you guys? You mind me asking? How old were you at the time?
Probably like 25. I think she's probably hearing me right now, laughing in the bath behind me.
Nice. Probably.
I tell that entire story with my wife behind me.
But no, she
Wait, she was a persistent one?
yeah, big time.
Oh,
Brad and Timbo just
Hey.
getting fucked.
I know, right? But no,
Oh.
we start talking more and more, and we kind of found out that we both like reading, and she was asking me what I was reading, and it was this fantasy series, and we kind of started talking about that, and she went out and bought the books, and that kind of sold the deal for me. I was like, oh hell yeah, she's interested. Let's connect on this, and then we set up it wasn't really, I don't know, it's kind of a date, but more just like another hangout where we went for a hike, went up to this really cool lake up in the
Not the nature scene, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
No.
What was your topic? This dude keeps shitting on my porch.
I know. Fuck. No, there was no shitting on this first date. I have
Why
no
this guy
first
keep
date
saying, "Look at the
shitting
stars"?
stories. I'm gonna go check out this tree over here. No, but we just went out. We took a hike up to this lake. It was really nice, and after that, I honestly don't really remember how it all kind of fell together. But
It's
we
hard
just
to
hung
worked
out. Yeah, we hung out more and more, and
because like even thinking about the topic, like I was trying to go into like key moments that were signaling to me like, yeah, this is it, and it was more just like enjoy your time. Every time you hung out was just enjoying it, but there's nothing specifically that just flew out at you. It was like, yep, that's it, I know it. It was just you had easy conversation, and you just knew that you could talk to this person every day.
Yeah, we connected on love or areas that we were both really interested in. We both like hiking, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that too.
Literature.
We connected
Literature.
okay there. Reading, hiking, and yeah, since she'd started reading the same book series as I did, we'd sit, read those, talk about them, and
So
it.
is that still part of your marriage today?
Hiking, somewhat, yeah. The reading, we kind of go off on different areas of what we like to read now. She's more into the romance novels. I still like the fantasy, sci-fi kind of stuff, but yeah, that's still there.
That's good because I mean it shows you're individuals and not
Yeah.
just she probably did that to make
Get some of this.
Oh yeah.
No, I see where you're going.
like a common thing you can talk about.
Yeah.
Because she was
Yeah, common interests and
Mhm. So I mean she has some game. She pulled the
She
dime.
she made the good moves.
Listen, persistence, I mean, I hate to say it, but it sounds like it pays off. I've heard stories, persistence pays off. And, even like some stories, like, you talk to whoever and they'll be like, oh my God, yes, date. And then, like, if you ask a girl, whatever, and she'll be like, well, he just was around and, kept wanting to hang out. So
He wouldn't give up.
yeah, finally I was like, hey, well, let's go on a date. And I'm like, really? It works, huh?
you want to hear the epitome of persistence?
Let's hear your story, Bug.
This is how Bug got married.
Bug
yeah.
met his wife. Persistence pays off.
So funny thing is, so like, and I, I have some friends that, married their high school sweethearts or whatever, but I had dated this girl for about close to 3 years, like in high school into college. And same with my wife. She had dated this guy about the same period into college. And so we were both kind of like locked down our freshman year. But summer going into sophomore year, I met her. Like we went up to our college with our roommates to sign up for classes and do all that. And my friend was like, "Hey, you should meet my roommate. I think you guys would be like, be like hit it off or whatever." I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Hey, come over here." And my now wife comes up and she had her mind on something else. And I was like, I reached out my hand. It's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Mike." And I went to shake her hand. And she like didn't even pay attention to me, didn't even acknowledge me, and she just walked off. And I looked at this friend of mine. I was like, "Man, your roommate sucks. Like, she's kind of an a-hole, right?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, she's supposed to be sidetracked." I'm like, "She's not interested. I could tell." So show up to first day of sophomore year class. Who's in my class? This girl sitting right next to me and my roommate. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, lean over my room. I was like, oh, this girl like didn't give me the time of day, like was not nice at all, super rude. And he goes, "Oh, I know her. She's actually really nice." I'm like, oh, okay. Well, different experiences, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we had both like over the summer had broken up with our then, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. And basically we found out that through mutual friends, we had a lot of the same common groups. Like I played baseball, my roommate played volleyball, and she was friends with a lot of the volleyball players.
Wait,
Which
you had a
I
girl
became.
roommate?
No, I had a buddy. He played male volleyball,
Oh, okay.
men's volleyball.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just heard you say, "Oh, my roommate."
Yeah, my roommate played volleyball.
And then I thought you followed it with cheating. No, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, and then she, my now wife,
Oh,
was friends with a lot of the guy volleyball players and baseball players. And then, so anyway, that's like we ended up showing up to the same parties. So anyway, long story short, she comes over to my house. Like she doesn't know it's my house, but I'm having a party one night. She comes over. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna partner up with her on beer pong. Like this is my perfect in." Well, she had already like paired up with this other guy, and I was devastated. Right? She's like, I
so
gotta
you had
get
to
to
go
know this
beat
girl.
her,
Like,
right?
yeah, and she didn't drink at the time, and she's playing water pong, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta get to know her. I gotta get to know her." Well, I didn't know that like there's a couple guys on the volleyball team that really liked her. So, some time passed and kept hanging out. And I finally just said, like, we both knew, like, you kind of get the vibe that we both liked each other. So I just said, "Hey, like, would you go on a date?" She's like, yeah, sure. Went on a date, went to like, we had this main street by our college. It's like awesome. We literally like barely touched our food and we were there till like for like 4, 5, 6 hours, just talking, laughing, having a great time. I'm like, dude, this is perfect. Like, this girl's awesome. So take her home, went in for the kiss. I was like, boom, this is great, right? And she's like, hey, I'm actually going to visit my sister. This was like a Thursday night. She's like, I'm actually going to visit my sister at another university, which was like an hour and a half away for this weekend, but like, text me if you want, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So that weekend, I was like, man, I was doing the mind F. I was like, she's with her sister. She's probably going to parties at this other college. Like, do I really bother her? And I did. No response. I shoot her a text like, hey, hope you're having fun. Like, was thinking about you or something like that. No response. Ghosted. Like one of the first examples of being ghosted.
I don't
Like
blame her
days
with
went
that one,
by.
Bug.
Days went by.
I'm sorry.
Then we so I'll fast forward. Basically, long story short, we dated off and on like 8 times. The joke is like 8 times, but it seriously was probably that. And the whole thing was we had just had like 3-year relationships. So as much as we both wanted to be together, we also wanted to be single for a little while in college. So it was that kind of like like your mindset where it was like a mind F. I'm like, dude, this girl is like the one, but I just want to like go to a party and I'm not like hooking up left and right, but I just want to like do my thing with my buddies and whatever. And, like in my university, if you were in played a sport, that was like your fraternity. So I'm like, I'm going to go to this party with these baseball guys, go here, like, and just like have fun. But that was like the tough thing. But finally, like, a year and a half went by. I was like end of our junior year and we finally like said like, let's stop messing around. And we like figured it out, got together, rest was history. And, it all worked out. So
Nice.
but man, I had to be persistent. Like you were saying, I was always, it was funny because like if she ever saw me hanging out with other girls that she knew were interested in me, you could tell like that jealousy factor ramped up. And it was like my junior year, we had like the best house on campus to like have parties and they'd come over
Nice.
and whatever. And like the joke was she's allowed to date, but I wasn't kind of thing. Like not actually, but it was just like the joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kept coming back, kept asking, like, let's go on another date, let's try this again, and eventually it worked out. So
Yeah.
But if you had started dating when you guys were in that phase, it would have been
exactly like you were
toxic
saying. Yep.
and not worked out, and you wouldn't be
Yep.
having this conversation.
Yeah, and she dated a few people. I did, like, and I think that was like what made us realize that this other person is like the better version of what I'm looking for. Like these other people I'm dating. So
It is funny how
nothing.
like that old cliche like timing it was the wrong timing,
Yeah.
wrong timing. And I was lucky enough to have that wrong timing situation come back and turn into a right timing because we knew each other and then years later rekindled and it was just the right timing at that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Same
so
here, man.
we already had the foundation of we knew each other, but then now I have to get to re-know you and I already know exactly who you are as a person because I have those memories, how we clicked. So let's just go again and see if it happened. And when it started happening just like normal, then it was just like, okay, now I remember why I liked you at this point in time. I also remember why it wasn't working out because I was not ready for this. I was
Yeah,
not
and
ready to be
I think
tied down.
that's a huge piece of advice. Like anybody listening that's wondering why something isn't working out, or that's huge. I mean, like it's a very tough thing to recognize it's not the right time, but hope that when it is the right time, it's also the right time for them. That's a risk, right? But I think like you said, P is like very, very true is you can't force something that isn't ready because that's when it, like you said, it gets toxic or you resent each other or you feel like you're tied down and it shouldn't feel like you're tied down. Like I know I joked about at the beginning is like, hey, we're all taken ladies, like so don't. But like I think it's huge to be self-aware in that ability to accept that this is not going to work now And I just hope we cross paths when the time's right for both of us. And that might not be the same way for both of you.
Right. So just to clarify a little bit, I guess, to me and maybe all the viewers. So like when we say timing, right, does that mean like, just, like yourself isn't ready to date? Or is it just like, hey, the stars haven't aligned and,
I think it's both.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
think
gotta
it's
start with
multiple
yourself.
things.
yeah. When my wife and I met, we were 25, 26 years old, and I hear stories of her younger years, her party years, and she hears stories of my party years, and we both just go, "Damn, we would not have been together back then. That would not have worked out. There's no way. Glad we met when we did, because it was just, yeah, we wouldn't have clicked back then. Two
Maybe
different
even
people
hate
back
each
then.
other.
Like that party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were.
I bring this up because I've heard different things like, you will change or whatever for the right person if you meet them, or you will, cut off things. Like there's some things I've heard. Just to throw another little tidbit out there for anyone with the opposing view. Like, I don't know what you guys think about that.
I mean, I think with that is so. Let's take this scenario. Like, so say you're in those years, right? Like your party years. I think that when you meet the right person, like so P, for example, or even mine, like it took 2 years of us, like we hung out all the time. Like there were times that was really hard because I wanted to be with that person, but I knew it wouldn't be the best for both of us. But I think to answer your question is sometimes that person comes along that you're like, you know what? I'm changing from this lifestyle because I'm ready now. Like I see this person, they're bringing me to that point that I'm realizing I don't have to keep chasing. Like this is where it needs to be. Other times is I do agree that like there's always if you go from a single lifestyle to with someone, whatever that looks like, there's gonna have to be some change. Like you're not gonna be able to do everything you used to be able to do. And I think there's a negative connotation to like, oh, you changed. Like you ever hear like you're like maybe you were the first one that like locked someone down and your buddies are like, man, you changed. Well, yeah, I can't go out and party till 3, 4 a.m. on a Thursday on Thirsty Thursday, like because I got other shit I gotta think about. Like same thing when you have kids or when you move down this path, like it's okay. Like you're gonna have to evolve. Like if I had the same lifestyle I did in college, like I'd be a fucking wreck. Like I probably wouldn't be
Yeah.
successful. I wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, and I think they say like the right person will like change your ways. No, it just means like, okay, I've lived this part of my life and I'm ready to move on because this is the person I want to do it with. You know?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I just threw it out there, because I've just heard that, opinion before, whatever. Because I
Yeah, no,
personally
that's
think
a
like
good.
you got to be, I don't know, you have to like be ready yourself, and you got to be like okay with yourself. Maybe not, maybe better than okay with yourself. You got to be like, I don't know. I think you just got to like almost like accept yourself or be okay
You have to
being
know who you
alone.
are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
gotta
to
know
know
who you
who you
are
are.
and be okay with like almost being alone. I think is what makes it out like you're like, okay, well, if people are around, like I don't have to have everyone around. I can be okay by myself and not dating someone. I think then you'll know that you're kind of ready if
Well, you don't want to
so and so
be.
comes along.
Yeah, I think of one thing that a lot of people like, and I'll even say that I was probably this way at some point. Like, my high school girlfriend into college, I thought, if I don't have her, like I'm not going to be happy. And I think that the reason that was a good that we broke up and I found who I ended up marrying is because I needed some time to figure out who I was, like, get a little bit of, independence built up and like be single and be on my own and stuff like that. And I think that one of the things that is very hard for a lot of people to like accept, but it's huge, is they're gonna fix my problems, right? I'm not happy right now, but if I'm with them, I will then be happy. You're then putting all that pressure on that other person and reliance that what if they have a job where they have to travel? Are you going to be like miserable for a week when they're gone? Like, if you can't be happy with yourself and independent and real with yourself, that's going to become super toxic. And that person's going to get beaten down. The one that you're relying on, they're going to like get worn out. They're like, dude, I got to have my own, I got to breathe. I got to breathe.
Yeah.
And you're going to smother them.
Yeah. Smothering's never good. And also, like, if you rely on somebody else, like, you're like, okay, well, when I'm with them, you know, they just make me so happy. If you rely on someone else for your happiness, you're going to run into problems because then that burden is on them to make you happy. And nobody can do that all the fucking time. Like, not even close. And you
They should
put
elevate
that
your
pressure.
happiness.
Exactly. Yeah, they should compliment it and, you know, push you higher, not like you rely on them because, yeah, what if they're not around or they're going through a bad time? Like, if they're having like a okay day, like they're not super stoked, you know, had some shit going on, all of a sudden your day's ruined now. Like, that shouldn't be the case. You can't rely on someone because, for one, it's not fair to them to put
Agreed.
that pressure on them because, you know, you got to make yourself happy. You have to find a hobby or, you know, go hang out with a, you know, a friend or two or whatever. I mean, that goes both ways with, you know, guy and girl in the relationship. Cause I'm telling you right now, like, you have to, you know, be okay with by yourself and make yourself happy. Otherwise, you know, it's going to cause a lot of waves in your relationship.
100% agree. And I think out of four of us, it sounds like I met my wife the earliest. Well, I guess P, you probably met your now wife at about the same time, but didn't fully connect till later. And I'll be honest, like, our marriage has never been like never not had issues. Or sorry, we've had our issues, right? And we've had some things we've had to work through and like, talk about and like figure out and like because we met when we were, 20 years old, officially started dating when we were like 21 ish. I guess we met 19, whatever. So 21 years old.
Just don't say
And so
17.
I've been together. I'm 30. Yeah. And so I've been with her for 13 years. And we've been married for 9. Like, so we've changed a lot,
Oh, yeah.
in different ways. And we've had to navigate what that means, like through all of that. So, I don't by any means regret it because it's been a journey worth going through. But I think that's the other thing that like it doesn't always have to be perfect, like you're going to have struggles, you're going to have things that you no longer enjoy or do enjoy or new hobbies, different hobbies, like, and you got to work through all that. You got to be, the biggest thing is communication. And it kind of goes back to like just securing that for not getting friend zone is just being direct, right? And that's like through the whole, you establish that early on and you carry that throughout your relationship. You're direct and honest and you know, you're going to have no issues. Well, less
Well,
issues,
if
right?
you sit there and focus on like the negative, what they're not bringing to the table, you're overlooking what they do bring to the table and what makes them interesting to you, like why you are talking to them. You know, the whole dynamic of it is just like, well, what aren't they doing? Or I'm gonna miss out on this, and this if I start dating this person. Then it's like you're not even giving the good a chance. You're sitting there focusing on what isn't this person, filling this gap for.
And you're probably not ready then, right?
No.
If that's your
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah, seriously. At that point, that's the best part is when you grow together and take challenges on as a team, and it's not just like this person. It's like us against the world, essentially. I mean, the old cliche saying, but it really is. It really does ring true when you separate individuals and then team oriented goals.
Yeah,
100,
no, for sure.
100. Well, yeah, I just want to touch on real quick. But hats off to you, bro. That's a tough one to do. Because I, to younger dudes out there all the time. I give them one of the biggest pieces of advice I give them is like, you might think you're ready, 18, 19, but I was like, just give it time because I was like, for one, your brain's not fully developed till 25, and you're going to change so much by the time 19 to like 23, 24, 25. Like, you're going to change so much. So if you're not ready and you're still growing and like maturing a lot as a person, and they're not on that same wavelength, like, I mean, I wasn't ready for any of that, right? And so, like, you're gonna grow apart. So if you get married or whatever, when you're 19 and stuff, it's gonna be tough. So that's one piece of advice I'm like, hey, like, just wait it out. And also, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but when you turn 21, you go to the bar, you're gonna be like, if I see some fish in the pond, and you're gonna be like, fucking Jesus, this what? I didn't know this was here. And that'll also cause some problems.
Sure.
So I mean, hats off to you, but like, I just know it's tough, and I think you might be like the the exception to the rule.
It's who you surround yourself with too. Your friends are gonna dictate a lot in those years because it's just gonna be like, let's have fun, or maybe you have friends that are just all goal oriented, and that could change how your relationships, because goal oriented.
There you go.
If you're in that group and you find a good woman who is just same goals in mind, then maybe you're already there to the point where they'll develop with you. But if you're in that, party, let's party, do all this, you're surrounding yourself with people just like that. And that's not a bad thing. That's just where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck knows not a bad thing.
That's not a great foundation. I mean, there's probably love stories out there that started at that foundation and it worked out just fine. Not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying you've started off with an obstacle, and you've started off, with a harder path to get to where you want to go. But I mean, just look who you surround yourself with, and if you realize that, in your early 20s, party scene, then realize that you're not ready. And if you find a great woman that you like her a lot, just realize that you're going to have to eventually separate yourself from comfortability and what you are currently doing, because that's not going to work out.
Yeah, and it'll change your relationship too, because she might party with you or go to the bar with you, and then you stop doing that because you're taking on life or whatever. People tend to grow apart, and I mean, there's definitely exceptions to the rule, but I mean, stats are that it probably ain't gonna work, and you might think she's the one, cool, but there's definitely life happens, and like you're saying, P, it's not a bad place to be. Like, if you want to fucking party, then fucking live it up. Everyone goes down different paths. Everyone has a different story, different journey. Like, just accept, you're who you are, and you need to live your path and figure out things for yourself, and not worry about like, oh, well, I'm supposed to, get married and have kids at fucking 20 years old, and, and find my career job at 21 or 22. Like, life doesn't fucking work out that way. So just live it up, and, just do your thing, and just know, like, hey, maybe just wait it out a little bit,
especially for early relationships. If you bumped into your wife at and you are both on the nightclub scene, and that's how you met, 3 months down the road, if you decide to date, realize that she's 3 months removed from how you guys met at the bar. That's probably still, kind of what she wants to do. You too. So you can't hold it against her. I mean, if you bump into her at, Lowe's or Home Depot, then it's like, oh shit, it's a little better.
Yeah, right.
Well, new curtains, nice.
I mean, that's how you met her. Like, you can't hold it against her if she's still wanting to do that shit, because that's who you met. That's the version of the person you met. was the person at that bar that night.
Man.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing is like I learned, and I still to this day, I would say my wife is like one of the most honest, direct, trustworthy people I've ever met. Like she is direct. Like she tells you how it is. You're never wondering what she's thinking, right? And I think the interesting thing. So we didn't get married till 25. So we dated. I mean, we dated for 4 years before we got married, and I get that whole process of like you're not fully mature till so yeah. I mean, like honestly, like it wasn't till like probably our 30s when it really got tough, and that's life really started to change. Like we
Yeah.
had, there's the kid aspect, but like just life, and not to get into that, but there was just a lot of life events that took place that like mess with my head, maybe mess with her head, and it wasn't like we were pursuing other people. It was just like really challenging on the mindset and like how you go about your day to day. How do you take on these challenges? Like looking back, it's like, dude, up until that point, it was like so easy. It was like all the way through our 20s, but it was like 30 hit, and it's like, found out a lot of stuff about our families that were just like, wow, like I got to prepare for this. I got to prepare for that. This is something I have to deal with now. Like I have to, whatever. And, like I said before, like it hasn't been all rainbows and butterflies. Like we've had to work at it. Like, don't get me wrong, but like she's still the one I want to be with. And I hope that that applies with her as well. And it's just one of those things where if we can work at this together to make ourselves, I think we'll be even stronger, right? On the other side, like taking on these challenges together. Like, I'll be honest, my problem was I compartmentalized a lot of stuff and I wasn't like open about where I was at. And that created a lot of rifts because she's like, how am I supposed to help if I don't know? You know? And I'm like, I get it. Like it's something I still work at today where I feel like I can't put that on other people and I have to just like figure it out on my own. I gotta just power through. And that's led to some bad habits and certain things and whatnot. And it's all things that like, you know, it's life. You just gotta work through it. You gotta figure it out. You gotta kind of just, realize your flaws, be honest with yourself, and then how do we get to tomorrow? How do we get better? How do we, so yeah, it's had its challenges, but the ironic thing is it was, in our 30s when it started like kicking in that and that's just this is life. This life hits you at different times.
Bugger, you're like my twin right now.
Yeah. Fuck. Wait,
Oh,
first,
goddamn.
I mean, for all the listeners out there, maybe clarify compartmentalized.
Are you looking for a definition?
Yes, very much so.
You take okay.
Like
So you
internal.
take an event or something going on in your life that is tough, hard. You put it in a little box, you store it somewhere here, and you just don't deal with it. You don't address it.
Okay.
Bill Bird would say that he put it on his shelf of anger. He just puts it away and puts it on his shelf of anger until shit just blows up.
Yeah. And it's not good because you don't deal with the problem. You say,
I
you
feel
know
like
what?
It's very common,
I'm not.
though.
Yeah,
It is very common, and I'm definitely a victim. I wouldn't say victim, but I'm guilty of doing that.
Yeah.
But you don't realize you're doing it because that's just how you've dealt.
You think you're helping other people by not addressing the problem and making it something that they have to be involved in, when really those are the loved ones that are there to help you.
Yep.
So I would just bottle it. Another way to say it is you bottle it up, right? You bottle it up.
Yep.
You don't deal with it. You're like, it's like when they say like, the old thought is like men can't have feelings. They can't tell you how they feel. Like you got to just be men.
Suck it up.
Yeah, suck it up. And like, I used to always tell myself someone else out there has it worse than me, which is true. But the problem is it's okay to have your own shit. And it's okay to realize that it's not easy, even though there's someone else that has it worse or harder or whatever. So,
But yeah, you can't take it away from yourself. And
and
discredit yourself from going through tough shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
anyway,
I mean,
The
I
Road
would.
of marriage.
I mean, go ahead, people. I would love to segue. I don't know if you guys want to dive into this, but go on, Pete.
The hardest thing is to change your mindset, because a lot of the bottle it up mindset is just something that you've done your entire life. The sequence of events that has formed you as a young adult, and especially going into marriage and relationships, is you've just dealt with it, just dealt with it, just dealt with it. And I didn't realize that I was doing it so bad to myself until it was brought to my attention. And then when I would have something happen, my initial thought was just, now you'll get over it. Like, you'll figure something out. You'll do something. And then when I get called out on it, it's just like, I don't want to talk about it, but when you're kind of forced to talk about it, it feels so much better that it's just out there, and
Mhm.
it's not something that's going to explode later on. And I mean, it could save you a lot of headache, but at the same time, it's just like you're not ready to do that. You're not ready to change the way you've been coping with everything your entire life. That's where, I mean, same concept, Bug. Like, obviously my marriage hasn't been, but I've had a partner alongside me that has helped me realize those coping mechanisms,
Mhm.
and helped me change for the better. And that's very, if you have that, hold on to that.
Mhm.
Don't freaking ever let that go, because someone stands by your side like that, when someone can just scoop and get out of here, you know you got someone that you need to have in your life.
For sure.
It's pretty deep.
It's very good advice, for
Yeah.
anybody questioning. That's huge. I mean, I would say that for my wife. She's one of the most supportive people ever, and you know, the life events that hit, obviously also affected her, but it's things I wasn't ready for, and she fucking helped me power through it. So
Yeah.
And that's just like another growing part of your marriage. I mean, that's just another chapter to your story of why you married this person, why
right.
you love this person. And if you ever forget it, go back and read that book and just reminisce on the times that you guys had together, the shitty times even, how she
Mhm.
pulled you through XYZ, and how you helped her on a situation. You guys grew together, but you didn't leave each other.
Right, right.
Yeah. And with that, I mean, just to everyone out there listening, like, everyone goes through shit. Like, everybody has shitty parts in the relationship. There's a difference between, like, hey, you're in a toxic motherfucker, get out, and like, hey, you're just going through life, and you're both in a shitty spot, and try to work through it. Like, there's differences in that, but like with, I don't know, like, so say we're married or whatever, but like in relationships before, like it's a little bit different of an aspect, and there's a lot of single people out there, I'm guessing, who are going to listen. And so with that kind of stuff, like, you're gonna go through some shit. You're gonna go through some struggles, because you're going through struggles with your own self. You're growing as a person, going through relationship, figuring out if it's gonna work. You got a lot of questions. Are they gonna leave? Do I want to leave, or do I want to go out and search for something? Whatever, like, whatever questions, even if they cross your mind, maybe they're not a big thing, but like, you just have to know, like, everyone goes through some shit, and if they're gonna work with you through it, or they're gonna just blow it off and be like, ah, well, fucking grow up or whatever. Maybe maybe they need to grow up, or maybe
Yeah.
maybe you both need to grow up. Maybe you're not in the right spot. But there's a difference between, like, these little shit. Like, I feel like, as I'm 32 now, like, going through all this shit and all, like, the relationships and all that, like, you just kind of learn as you go. Like, okay, well, this probably means this, and you're just like, well, they don't give a fuck about me. Not really. Maybe they're there for the party or whatever. And maybe it's time to move on. And maybe you don't see that red flag, or maybe you ignore it. But you just listen to yourself, and you'll know what's up. And then when you go into, like, your next relationship, maybe kind of see that, but like, hey, are they there for me? But I mean, you just know like you're gonna grow as a person though, and they're gonna grow as a person, and you're gonna go through fucking shit. You're gonna have bad days, and they're gonna have fucking bad days. You're just gonna have to fucking figure it out together.
And that's that ties back to like knowing the timing, because who you are today compared to, even a year ago could be completely different. But you go back as far as like your early 20s, oh, I wouldn't even recognize myself. Like I would give myself advice, but at the same time it's like, no, like you have to go through this to be able to learn what you're going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, someone could think of you as a complete asshole, in a relationship, but that's not necessarily the case. I'm just not giving you what you need at that time.
Yeah, you
Because
might
I'm
not be in
not
that
capable of it.
mindset or whatever. You might be being an asshole. Doesn't mean you are an asshole.
Yeah, like if let's say we're dating for a couple weeks and something traumatic happens, and I'm not there for you. You need to decide, like right there and then, hey, that's not going to work, and that's probably what you should decide, because I'm just not mentally ready to dive into this and help you get through this situation. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not ready for it. I don't want to be ready for it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That just shows you that you're not ready for it either.
Yeah, because they shouldn't put that on you. It's not up to you to dictate their happiness or whatever. But like just that, I mean, I know we're all married dudes or whatever, but like even if you think back, maybe like a couple of relationships, and maybe wives won't want to hear this kind of stuff, but like just think of like all like the stupid, shitty problems that you had that are just like, Jesus Christ, you're arguing about fucking what? Not
Right.
saying, that it never happens in a marriage, but like, there's so many like little
Oh, it
things,
does.
that, that are just like, man, what the fuck? Like what's happening here? And, and just know like this too shall pass, like if, you're having a great time, it's going to pass. If you're having a shitty time and you break up, well, that shitty feeling is going to go away. It's going to pass, and then there's going to be something else that's going to come along and replace it. Maybe for good, maybe way better. But just know, like, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, and you're kind of this thought in my head is you're kind of on the path. You're kind of already answering this question I wanted to ask, but thinking about this, I think if you go through the journey of this podcast of early on, pretty lighthearted, pretty jokey, right? Kind of gave a little advice, talked about our stories of, how we
Shit.
met our wives, how we got there. Some good advice along the way on different stages. If you think about it, we started on first dates just in general, and then like all the way through how to not get friend zoned and stuff like that. But I think to wrap this one up, I got a question for everyone, and I'm thinking something that sticks with people. Okay, it's one or two lines. Nothing terribly deep, because I think we touched on a lot of that stuff. But if you could look at yeah, if you could look at yourself younger, or just anyone at any stage of like high school, college, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, you're someone in a relationship or trying to be in a relationship. What is like one sentence or two sentence line of advice that you'd have to give to someone to help them be, and I don't want to say successful because it's not like a game, but like be like in a good relationship or find a good relationship? What would your thing be, Timbo? What would you go up to someone like young Timbo, not 7-year-old Timbo, because that's a whole nother story, but
That'll work out.
up to like, your 24-year-old Timbo, or something that you could give as advice, a one or two liner.
Yeah, well, I already know what I tell 7-year-old Timbo.
Yeah. Bring some TP.
Yeah, bring some TV for sure. Find a leaf. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Shit on a leaf.
Oh yeah, fucking pine coats the same time.
No, but I think the biggest thing would be to just be honest and be yourself, and don't try too hard to be someone that you think that they want you to be, because it's just going to put stress on you, and you're not going to be being real. I just want to be real all the time with people, and yeah, that just weighs way too much on you. Yeah, way too much. It stresses you out, and you end up you're just fake. You're not yourself, and they don't know who you are. You're playing a different role.
Yeah,
Be yourself, man.
you almost lose touch with yourself, like
Yeah.
who you are, because you're trying to be someone else. That's great advice, man. Woo. Coming in, folks. Coming in.
So
Well,
that's all. Be yourself.
BD, what about you? What do you got for the younger crowd?
I would say follow your gut, because if you feel that you are doing something that seems forced, then it's wrong. And an old cliche saying is like, time will heal everything. You don't know it, but it works out. A lot of our stories would change just from one simple night. And if you force it to change, then you're going to put yourself in a situation that you have to immediately force it to. So you're going to have to continue to force it to be that way. Pretty similar to Timbo's, like you feel fake and you lose your own identity. And then you have to keep up this persona of, this is who you want me to be. This is who I should be. And how can I be this person? When you find somebody that it is easy and, conversations flowing, you guys don't get into any arguments, you just understand each other, then treat that one good and pursue that one. If you're finding yourself having to change yourself to accommodate someone else's interests, then that's not the one. That might be who you desire at the time.
Yeah, you're trying to get laid.
You're trying to get some fucking boon.
Yeah,
All right?
pretty
And,
much. Just know that.
if that's the case, shape shift and do what you got to do for the night. But if you're trying to marry the gal, then you know what? Just let it happen and let it be organic, because you're going to spend so much time with this person. And if you have to sit there and not be yourself, you're not going to be happy. And then she's not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're just miserable. For what?
Yeah, it's like you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, it's just stupid. And yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
Alrighty, Bug. Go ahead.
So you stole some of my concepts, but I think, like, if I were to sum it up in just a few things, is be true to yourself, know your value, know your worth. Don't let someone put you in a position that you don't feel that way. But also take risks, but understand it's not always going to go your way. You might think you're the one for someone, but that might not be the case, and that's okay. And I think, be direct, communicate, be honest, and follow through. Just understand that it's a bumpy road, but it's worth the journey. And kind of like, not to be corny, but like, take that ride and just take a risk, try something, and just see where it takes you. And don't be afraid to fail. Like, it's probably gonna happen along the road. Like, honestly, it's gonna, and at any stage of life. And just know that not everything is a movie script, and it's not always gonna go how you plan it, but it'll figure itself out. So that's what I got.
It probably won't go how you plan it.
Yeah.
Never
I like
does.
that a lot. Take risks, because you don't want to get too comfortable in being yourself, because you never know that if you're going to enjoy something else,
Yep.
Yeah, because you view yourself as not perfect, but that's how you want it. And you don't allow yourself to be open for change, because change
Yeah.
is not bad.
Yeah.
Changes could be what you need. and that's what snaps you out of it, and that's what makes you fall more in love with the person. So, I mean, if you find someone just like you and comfortable, you're going to be stuck in that same exact world, and that's you've already set your life how you want it, and maybe that's it, but there needs to be room for growth, and your partner is there to help you push to grow. You should be pushing each other to grow, because you find yourself complacent, and then you're going to nitpick at each other. It's going to cause problems, and you've already explored everything you could possibly explore. No, you keep growing with each other.
Yeah, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? You know, because
cheers to that.
Yeah, because I'm telling you guys, I feel like as a species, like, you have to progress towards something. Otherwise, you don't feel fulfilled, and you're gonna take out your shit on someone else. So you got to keep growing.
Speaking of shit, I'll do that with the door open. I'll knock myself
Try it
out.
out, bro.
Yeah,
I would
take
highly
a risk.
recommend not Timbo's 7-year-old
You heard that,
method.
honey?
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I
Boys?
do. I recommend it.
I think this was a fun one.
Yeah.
Wait,
cheers.
I didn't get to go.
Oh.
God damn! How could we?
No, wait. First
cut
of
my
all,
guy
I
off.
thought we had like 2 sentences. One, I thought we were going like sayings.
I thought so too, but I thought that's how I pitched it. But I saw
don't know.
the
I had 2 run-on sentences.
I don't know. You had like
That was-
run-on sentences, then we're skipping. And,
you had a
I wasn't good at
whole
punctuation.
novel series.
All right, then you go, Brad. 1 sentence.
You get 2. You get 2. Let's see,
All right.
see what you can do with 2.
2 sentences. I would say.
It's one.
That's one.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Don't hold on to shit. Like, as in, like, let shit go.
Elsa.
And
Like Frozen, bro.
right.
But
I mean, kind of, you guys said, quite a bit, elaborated quite a bit, but I think another good one, I mean, kind of what I said. Actually, we won't even hash that. This too shall pass. That's a good one. But, I really think, like, I would probably tell myself, like, you're going to be okay. Like, no matter what, you're going to be okay. You've made it through fucking every shitty situation ever, and you're still here. So, you'll be okay. I think would probably be my second statement.
I like that. I like those.
Yeah, I think that feeds into the first one you said too. Don't hang on to shit because you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna get through it.
Because if you hang on to shit or whatever, then it just, like, even like little shit, like, you're just like, fuck, man, I fucked this up. I can never recover. When, who knows, it might not have been that big a deal to them. You're like, fuck, I said some stupid ass fucking joke. She's never gonna like me. Let it go. Or it could be something big, like, maybe you fucking threw up in her bed. Let it go.
Oh damn! I got another funny story about that, but that's another time.
Wait, before we end it, I got it. What's your guys' best pickup line, if you can remember?
Oh fuck!
All right, let me lead this off. All right, it's just one I usually worked a couple times, but okay. I'm gonna buy you a drink if you promise not to hog all the covers.
Oh, you broke out.
Oh no! On the delivery,
I caught it.
The voice cracked out.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it cut out.
Fuck. All right. I said, hey, I'll buy you a couple drinks if you promise not to hog all the covers.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh, let me read mine. I'm Googling.
Boo.
I'm terrible at them.
You've never
I
heard
don't
like
have
a
any either.
one-liner?
I mean, just on random jokes, but never on a lady. Come on.
I'll tell you guys what my wife used on me. This was I'm going deep. This was the first kiss, guys. So we were a little story here. We were watching this movie. It's Easy A. I don't know if you guys know that, Emma Stone.
Oh yeah.
And
Scarlet Letter kind of thing.
yeah. So I don't remember who says it in the movie, but someone says, "If I kiss you right now, what would you do?" And we're just watching that movie, and she just looks over me and says it. I look over at her. I'm like, is she fucking with me right now? But there's just a look in her eyes. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go in for this right now. And that's how it happened. So that was the pickup line. That's how it all happened.
Damn.
We're here now. 3 kids,
Jesus
married
Christ.
7 years. It was a
Timbo,
good line.
I gotta say, dude, you always got game.
Oh, right. Fuck.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I
off.
didn't do shit. I didn't do shit.
Oh man,
I'll you know what?
I did a little bit of shit.
I'm gonna embarrass myself on this one, but I just have to be true to it, because if my wife listens to this and I don't say this is not so much a pickup line. This is like a pickup action that I did.
Okay.
So this is so
mating call.
First, yeah. So I was on her porch, right? No. So we went on our date that went like fucking amazing date, right? And I was too nervous because I liked this girl for so long. I drop her off at her house at college. I left. Okay. I texted her. This is so bad, guys, by the way. You're gonna fucking make fun of me, but I just gotta own up to it. I texted her and I said, "Oh, you're
go. Oh, you guys spit it out, man. You're gone too
your
far.
hair clip fell off in my." I think I said hair clip or something. Like fell in my car. Like I'm gonna go. Let me go bring this. I'll drop it off real quick. She's like, "It's not that big a deal." I'm like, "Oh no, it's cool. I already turned her around. No hair clip, nothing. I just needed an excuse because I needed that extra 5 minutes of courage." I got out of the car, walked up, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Super awkward, by the way. "Oh, where is it?" And I'm like, and I just like, there is none. And I just kissed her. Okay. Terrible.
Yeah, at least you recovered corny. Though, but
yep.
That's because you pussed out in the beginning, though.
Super pussed out, super corny as hell. Terrible excuse. Like I couldn't have thought like an earring fell or something like better. Like I don't know. Like I just said your hair clip or your something fell out. Like so corny, man.
It's all right. We've all pussed out a time or two.
Hey, you never gave up though.
Never gave up. I'm persistent.
Never gave up.
See, that's the thing, bro. You got to give you a little props though for going back and just being like, fuck it.
Yeah. At that point, there was no return. I had to. Yeah. So I had nothing to give her. I had no hair clip. Can't even say that was true. So I had to kiss her.
All you had was a smooch.
A little extra love.
Probably grabbed you by the collar and pulled you in.
She said, "You're really fucking lame."
That was my story, man.
I was like,
man, please tell me you just grabbed her and dipped her down.
Yeah, dropped her.
You like them? Wow. I was like, man.
No. It was a good kiss. It just the path to get there was a little rocky.
Well, yeah, but what? All right, I have to know. Like afterwards, did it make like all the embarrassing shit just go away?
She ghosted me. It obviously didn't go well.
Fucking stole her hair clip.
She went away. Yeah, she went away. Okay.
She left to go to another college.
Oh man. This
like
is
that
not the answer. That's not the answer.
That was a good kiss.
Man, I thought it was good. No, she's gone.
Yeah, no, she's gone. Oh, I was living on cloud 9 the whole way home. Got home, told my roommate, and I'm like, Monday comes around. I was like, "Oh, so how you guys chat a lot over the weekend?" Nope, not a lick. Nothing. Didn't hear from her. He's like, "That sucked, didn't it?" Yeah. You are terrible at dating.
Oh,
hair clip? Really?
Yeah. Really? Yeah, I couldn't say I had her dog or something. That would not be anywhere.
How many times did that replay in your mind over the weekend?
Dude, the whole way back, I was like, it's like I don't have a fucking hair clip. What am I? She knows she didn't lose a hair clip. She knows that this is awkward. She knows this is weird. I'm a creepy dude. Like, what am I doing?
Oh yeah, all weekend, guaranteed.
Dude,
you're just like
mega mind F.
Stupid.
Yeah, I sent that one text, no reply. I'm like, nope, this is it. I might as well jump off the bridge. I don't know what I did.
That's it. We had a good run.
Send her a picture of a hair clip. You still want this?
It's like I'm at Claire's right now.
I'm at Claire's right now.
That leads to another question. Why are you at Claire's?
Oh yeah, I broke it. I'm buying
Get my
a new
belly
one.
button pierced.
Yeah, I lost your hair clip. I said I found.
Funny story. There was never a hair clip.
Haha, I
I
have
have to
fooled
get my
you.
belly button.
And she never texted me again.
No.
Ghosted me.
Still have that fake diamond little dangler from my belly button though.
Oh yeah. Does this accent my happy trail?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well, I think that's
Really
a
makes
good
it
way.
shine.
Yeah,
That's a
let's
good
end
way to
that.
wrap it, boys.
Bug with the fucking magnet.
Wait, did you ever say yours officially or no?
Yeah, I did. We should just probably wrap it up, boys.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I want to hear it.
He was
Are
good.
you a photographer? Because I can picture you with me.
Oh, okay.
Do you got an extra band-aid because I scraped my knee falling forward?
There you go. Not bad.
I thought you were gonna say, "Are you missing a hair clip?"
I found one on the side of the road.
I found this one that I don't think is yours, but I'm pretty sure it's live
Ah, fuck it. Look at
God damn, if that doesn't work.
All right, boys.
it.
Cheers.
Look at that.
Cheers.
Until next time, boys.
Until next time.